The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.
I'm Andy Price along with Greg Wolfert, and we are here on PrepSpotlight.tv for the Class C State Amateur Baseball Tournament. Two sites starting tonight. We are here in Milroy, Minnesota for the Hadley Buttermakers, just down the road from Slayton, Minnesota, just on the other side of Highway 59 from where we're at here in Milroy, which is, if you're not aware on the map, Milroy, a town of 255 folks, and we're about 8 miles outside of Marshall to the south and the east side of that. Hadley to the other side of Highway 59, the southwest side of it, and they are here, kind of the home team, really, coming to Milroy. They might have the shortest drive, taking on the Randall Cubs. The Randall Cubs coming from the Little Falls area, and they are making their first state trip since 1994. We're getting the starting lineups introduced today. Hadley wearing the black jerseys with the white bottoms. You'll see a couple players that have different colored jerseys, and that is because when we get to state tournament time, you'll see some draftees. Pitchers only can be drafted. You can never take up an at-bat if you're a drafted player, but you may enter the game as a pitcher. So both teams with that. On the first base side is the Hadley lineup. On the third base side, the Randall Cubs, and they're wearing the red jerseys, white bottoms, blue caps. We'll talk a little bit about the history of Randall baseball and Hadley baseball throughout the years, as we are just about ready to get ready for the national anthem, and we'll keep it here for that. And it is just a classic August night here in Milroy, ready for some State C baseball. Well, the high note was hit well in the national anthem, and this is a high note for Minnesota baseball. We get to start the State C Championship, all games from State C, B, and A on PrepSpotlight.tv. Tonight, if you want to watch Class C baseball from Springfield, Minnesota, we've got Ryan Phelps and Dave Whitman hanging out in Springfield for the game there, which features Hanska and Foley. And we have one game in Class B as well. That game in Class B at Shakopee, and Steve Thompson from WCCO will be handling that call of that game for Class B. We have this weekend alone, we will have 32 games for you to watch. In this one, it's Hadley, the home team. Don't be confused by the score bug. Hadley, the Buttermakers, are the home team. The Randall Cubs will be the visiting team and will be batting first. We have a couple Dolans, and Dolan, the most famous baseball name, of course, here in Milroy, home of two baseball parks. Here we're at Yankee Stadium, or Yankee Field, home of the Milroy Yankees, but there's the Milroy Irish, which is just about 5 miles outside of town. Two teams in this small community. You know this is a baseball-rich community. We should state that Milroy was not expected to host the state tournament just until 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to be in New Ulm, the State C tournament. New Ulm voted because of the pandemic and the situation around the pandemic. They did not want to host. The city council decided they did not want to host the B and the C tournament, so they split it up. The Class B tournament went up to Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee, which is just hosted the tournament 2 years ago. They do a phenomenal job there at a phenomenal ballpark. Springfield was going to be the alternate site for the Class C. Well, they became the main site. So the championship game, as we work through these 48 teams in Class C, that will be played in Springfield on Labor Day. Milroy will get its share of games. 8 games this week, 8 games next weekend, and some games on Labor Day weekend as well. But this is the first round, so we will have 32 teams playing across Class C in Springfield and Milroy this weekend. 16 teams are getting a bye, and they will weight winners, and we'll go through the brackets as we go later on into the game. Let's take a look at the starting lineup first for the Randall Cubs. They're batting first, and leading off for the Cubs will be the shortstop, number 20, Thomas Kunkel. Batting second will be number 7, Kyle Petershik. Petershik playing center field. He is a player who's been drafted before to play in state tournament. He's one of only 2 players that has state tournament appearance, any state tournament experience for the Randall Cubs. Travis Wenzel will be batting third. He's playing at second base. Rich Drew will be the cleanup hitter. He's the first baseman for the Randall Cubs. Matt Otremba is playing left field, and he will be batting fifth. Alex Zack is the catcher, batting sixth. Sam Nagel is DHing for the Randall Cubs, and he'll be batting seventh. Brett Strock is the pitcher, or is not the pitcher. Brett Strock is in the field. The pitcher is Caleb Strock, his younger brother. Brett Strock, 24 years old. Caleb Strock is pitching tonight. So that's the 8 and 9 hole hitters for the Randall Cubs, and playing in left field and being DH'd for, in right field, is Joe Jennings. So he will be in right field. The Hadley Buttermakers are in the field, and pitching is going to be Luke Droger. Drooger. Luke Droger, a right-hander wearing number 34. He will be the pitcher for the Hadley Buttermakers, wearing black. Around their starting lineup looks like this. Joe Larson will be playing right field, batting first. Eric Bruning will be in center field in third base, playing and batting second. Eric Winicky will be at second base, batting third. Alex Peterson is the DH and batting fourth. We'll get to the rest of the lineup for Hadley in just a moment. We are ready for the first pitch. It's Randall at the plate, and Droger, the pitcher, throws a fastball for a strike. So we are underway at Milroy. The state tournament is here, and the first pitch is a strike from Luke Droger to Thomas Kunkel. Kunkel, the shortstop. And the next pitch is a strike as well. Behind the plate, the umpire behind the plate tonight is, his name is Derek Roberts, and Mike Stika is in the field. 0-2, Droger to Kunkel. And the righty delivers. The fastball misses down low, and the count moves to 1-2. As I mentioned, the Randall Cubs' first trip since 1994. There's been a few iterations. They were the Cardinals when they first came into the old Victory League, which was, of course, a home to many great teams and great players. The 1-2 pitch is low, and the count is evened up at 2-2 to the first batter of this game for the Randall Cubs. They started in the 40s as the Cardinals. The Cubs came involved in the 50s as the 2-2 pitch is fouled away down the right field side and right over the top of the new party deck just built here at Milroy. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and then Randall created the Cubs in the 50s, but more as a minor league team to the Cardinals. That's when town ball was so big that towns like Randall would even have 2 teams playing. The 2-2 pitch is flipped out to the second baseman, and Winicky cannot make the play. He bats it, and maybe feeling the nerves of the state tournament, although Hadley has played in 6 straight state tournaments. But an E4 is how we'll start the game as Kunkel reaches as the first batter of the game. So a runner at first and nobody out. Kyle Peterchik is now up. He's the center fielder. He's batting left-handed, wearing number 7. Quick throw over to first, and Kunkel almost got caught off guard. He had to scramble to his knees and then back to the bag, and he is safe. Another throw back is Droger barely letting Kunkel get some space between him and the first base bag. Droger, the right-hander, on the hill. Peterchik at the plate, and the delivery is outside, ball one on the fastball. Looking to offer on the bunt, and it is a strike off the bat. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Hadley again, just maybe 30 miles away from, maybe 40 miles away from this spot here in Milroy. There's another throw over by Droger, and back is Kunkel. So Kunkel must be garnering enough attention, as these teams, many of them never faced each other before, but get a little bit of a scouting report. Kunkel at first, and the pitch on to Peterchik, and it's in for a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Peterchik. Runner at first and nobody out. Top of the first inning. They play 9 innings here in this game. 7:30 start time. Just a perfect night for a baseball game in the southwest corner of the state of Minnesota. Another throwback over. 4th throw over this with Peterchik at the plate. So they are keeping a close eye on Kunkel. Kunkel reaching on the air. And the pitch is grounded right back up the middle. Could be a tailor-made double play ball. Flips it over to the shortstop for 1, but the throw is wide. So the throw by Van Dam was wide of Zwart, the first baseman, and we'll have the runner not advancing. So we're 1-6 on the first out of the inning. And a fielder's choice is what will be ruled for Peterchik. So Peterchik on board with a fielder's choice. And Travis Wenzel comes to the plate. He wears number 19, right-handed hitter. And Wenzel plays second base for the Randall Cubs. So runner at first and 1 out. It's a comebacker quick to Droger. He wheeled and threw to shortstop, but the throw from short to first at the bag, just a little wide of the target. Count 1-0. Droger from the set delivers, and another ground ball, this to the shortstop, deep in the hole. It's going to be a tough play, and he gets it. He gets Wenzel heading down the line. A very nice play by Van Dam on the throw there, and there's 2 down. The runner advancing over to second base is Peterchik. So 2 outs and a runner at second base, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Rich Drew. And he is the first baseman. Drew wearing number 13. So he's got an RBI opportunity as Randall making their first appearance in, lo and behold, 26 years to the state tournament. And they're trying to score a run in their first inning, aided by that error on the leadoff batter. The first pitch to Drew is going to catch the inside part of the plate, and it's strike 1. Runner at second and 2 outs here. It's the top of the first inning. Again, don't mind the score bug. The Randall Cubs on the normal home side of the score bug. They're actually the visiting team and batting here in the top of the first. 1 strike to Drew. Drew hitting from the left side, and the pitch delivered, and it is a strike. So 0-2 again. Droger has done a nice job of getting ahead of batters. Should say that the Randall Cubs are managed by Chuck Strock. Chuck has rejuvenated this program, and he's got a couple of his kids in the lineup tonight. First, the 0-2 pitch misses high and wide, and the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rick Drew. Drew with a runner at second base. Here, 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Droger checks the runner at second and delivers. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice block. And the count goes to 2-2. That's Carlson catching. Two-two pitch on the way. Droger delivers, and it's fouled away. Peterchik is playing a little cat and mouse with the with Droger on the mound, making some feigned attempts towards third, smiling at the shortstop Van Dam as he does it. Travis Carlson, the battery mate for the pitcher Luke Droger. 2-2 pitch on the way, and it's a breaking ball that's lined towards first and is going to get past the first baseman on the diving effort. Out to right field, the play at the plate, and it's the throw's in time, and Peter Chick is out. Peter Chick thought he got around it, but the catcher Carlson was able to get a tag on the arm. The throw was back a little bit and made the catcher sprawl for it, and the catcher Carlson was able to make the play and get the out. So Peter Chick rounds on the single to right field, but is thrown out at the plate. The throw goes 9-2 for the third out, and that ends the inning. So one base hit, one error, and one runner left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Hadley and Randall in a scoreless top first. We'll be right back with more on PrepSpotlight.tv. All right, back with you here at the Yankees ballpark in Milroy, Minnesota. And it was an exciting end of the first inning. And, you know, we don't have replay with his feed, but you actually have replay if you're watching. You have a little bar down at the bottom. And you can go back and take a look at that play. It's tough from this angle to see. The throw beat the runner, beat Peter Schick coming in. The throw by the right fielder, no doubt, beat the runner. But the throw was off the mark enough, and we had to, the catcher, Carlson, had to step up, grab it, and then flop his way back towards the plate to get the out. So here we go into the bottom of the first inning. Hadley Buttermakers' first attempt in the batter's box, and we have Joe Larson wearing number 11. He will be leading off. The lefty, Caleb Strock, the manager's son, is on the mound, and he started with 3 balls. Strock just 19 years old, and the pitch in for a strike to Larson. His brother plays third base. Caleb, the pitcher. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that's going to catch the bottom part of the zone, and we run full to the first batter, Joe Larson. He's the right fielder. So Larson comes off the play in making the throw to right field to get the out, and he'll take the walk. Leadoff walk for Larson, and just like Randall, the Buttermakers get their leadoff runner of the state tournament on board. They were unable to score the run. The play as Peter Schick was thrown out at the plate. Kyle Peter Schick, who hails from Little Falls, plays for Randall, has been drafted at other times in this state tournament. So the number 2 hitter comes to the plate, and that's Bruning, Eric Bruning. Bruning, the center fielder. I'm sorry, Bruning, can't see my 5s and my 8s tonight. Bruning is the third baseman. It'd be 5 in your scorebook. 8, it would be the center fielder. Bruning wearing 14, batting right-handed. The left-handed hitting Strock delivers a strike. Keeping a little bit of an eye on the leadoff hitter Larson, who's reached on the walk. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. And the delivery by Strock is off-speed pitch, and it's high and out of the zone. 2 balls and a strike now to Bruning. Bruning, the leading hitter for the Buttermakers, hitting .433 for the season. Quite a few batters over the 300 mark in this COVID-shortened season. 2-1 pitch, driven towards short on one knee. Nice play by Kunkel, and he's going to start the double play. So Kunkel on one knee with a nice grab, flips it over to the second baseman, Wenzel, and on to Drew for the 6-4-3 double play. Really pretty defensive play here in the first inning. They grounded into double play by Bruning. Eric Winicky will bat third. He bears number 24 and plays second base. So the leadoff walk is erased by the pitcher's best friend, the old double play. But that was not an easy double play to turn. That was a very nice play by the shortstop, keeping his balance on one knee, making the on-target flip to second base. First pitch is down low to Winicky. Winicky also one of the Buttermakers who churned their way to a batting average higher than 300 in this shortened season. And the 1-0 pitch is on the way. The nice high kick, and he hits the outside part of the plate with the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. As the lights are on here in Milroy, some clouds out to the western sky and a little bit to the northwestern sky. There were some storms, but it looks like it's going to miss us for the evening. And the 1-1 pitch is outside to Winicky, and the count moves to 2-1. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Nice double play, providing the first 2 outs. Winicky flares the foul ball over into the houses, which are on the northern side of this Milroy Yankees ballpark. The first of 8 games this weekend here in Milroy. They'll play 4 tomorrow. We're here for all of them. And then 3 more on Sunday. Another foul ball. This time up past the third base coaching box. You should mention the manager, Myron Bennett, managing the Milroy, or the Hadley Buttermakers. It's going to be played in Milroy. He's been managing the team since 1992. So he's been part of this great run. 12th trip to the state tournament, 6th straight trip. He made it to the round of 16 in 2016, their best finish. Curveball outside, and that's the second base on balls delivered by Strzok this inning. Alex Peterson comes to the plate. He's the cleanup hitter, and he's the designated hitter for the Buttermakers. Their second base runner on, both via walk. And the first pitch to Peterson misses wide, ball 1. Peterson wearing 6. Peterson hails from Hadley. Winicky, who's on first base, is Slayton, listed as Slayton as his hometown. Look, we even have beer vendors here today. This is a great venue, and they've done a nice job of getting this ready with just a couple weeks' notice here in Milroy. It's great baseball community, great baseball town. Foul ball off down the right field side and just past the dugout of the Buttermakers. So Peterson with a strike and ball. Runner at first again is Winicky, who reached via the second walk of this inning. They have limited the attendance here. Almost looked like a lightning strike. Just a little bit of one I just saw out of the corner of my eye, unless it was a flash photography. As there was a little cell just to the north and to the west of us about a half hour ago. Pitch on the way by Strzok, breaking ball, and that will be called a strike. A couple strikes now on Peterson as he's got a runner on first with 2 outs. So they're saying 250 people is the minimum or the maximum that you can have, 125 from each community. Swing and a miss as Strzok ends the inning with a strikeout. We'll talk about some of the rules that these venues are playing under when we come back. We've played 1 complete inning. We'll go to the top of the second. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the Class C state tournament in Milroy, Minnesota. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome back to the ball yard here in Milroy, home of the Yankees. And you can see across the street, across Highway 68, we got some fans who are like at Wrigley Field, except they're not on top of the rooftop. They are in the driveway. Chairs out and enjoying this great game as we see traffic head down Highway 68, maybe taking a left and heading towards Lucan Wabasso. A lot of good things happening in Wabasso tonight. We go to the top of the second inning, and batting for the Randall Cubs is number 5. And first pitch by Droger, sorry about that, is a ball. So Matt Otremba. Otremba, the left fielder, takes a look at a pitch down and away. It's 1-1. Getting help from resident statistician. 1 ball, 1 strike. The right-handed hitting Otremba at the plate. And he looks at a pitch right down the middle, flares it foul. Getting a good look. Otremba from Little Falls, as I mentioned, about 10 miles to the northwest side of Little Falls, sits the town of Randall. And the pitch is low, and that evens up the count 2-2. Here to start the top of the second inning. Otremba's first at-bat of the game. Called third strike on a nice sliding pitch that catches the corner, outside corner, and that's the first strikeout for Droger.
Now batting the catcher, number 2, Alex Zach.
We go to the left-handed side of the plate now as Alex Zach comes to the plate. Zach, the catcher. We did see another, just a little bit of a flash, so we'll keep an eye on our skies here as that storm to our due west looks nice, but it's just to the north of us. I don't know exactly which direction that storm is coming. First pitch is a strike. To Zach. Zach with a ground ball foul towards first base, and he gets down in the count 0-2. Well, the manager, Charlie Strock, as we hear some thunder there in the background, we might even turn that up for you on the net sound mic, says the 0-2 pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strike. Wouldn't just be our way of having it that we might end up with a small delay here if that storm comes anywhere closer to us. A ball and 2 strikes. And Zach swings and misses, so back-to-back strikeouts for Droger in this inning. 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Sam Nagel. The Nagel family, good athletes out of the Little Falls area. Gabe Nagel, who comes off the bench for this team, was a state champion wrestler just 2 years ago. If you remember, he won in 2019. Pitched low to his brother Sam Nagel, who is the designated hitter for the Randall Cubs. Nobody on, 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Luke Droger. Swing and a miss by Nagel, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch on the way from Droger, and it's a broken bat. A nice sound of a broken wood bat, and Droger picks it up. The first baseman was out of position, so Droger's just going to take it himself. So 1 unassisted to end the inning. 1-2-3 that goes Luke Droger against the Randall Cubs in the top of the second inning. We're going to step aside, take a break, and look at some of the highlights from last week in what was a very fun week at Class A ball. We'll be right back after this.
Now he cracks one hard to left field. A 2-run home run. Dead center field.
And the pitch. Grounded towards the right side and past the diving first baseman. Coming up throwing is the right fielder. There will be a play at the plate, and he is safe. He gets underneath the tag. 1 in the second, and another one. How about that? The trifecta of home runs as Davis hammers it out.
Ready for the fly ball. Pretty well hit the left field. Bulow going back for it. Still going, and it is off the wall. Or the fence, I should say. Knight around third, throw to the plate, and it would have got him, but Granger could not hang on.
Runner Janke. Here's one hit in the air to left. Carrying deep away back. Miller to the fence. His second home run of the night. A 2-run shot to left.
And welcome back here to the ballpark in Milroy, right off of Highway 68, State Highway 68. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and it's going to be left-handed batting Max Wart, first baseman for the Hadley Buttermakers in his first plate appearance of the game. Ward also led the team in saves, so he plays first base, but we might see him come out of the bullpen and throw a little bit later in the game. First pitch on the way from Caleb Strock is a strike. Off-speed pitch on the 0-1 pitch, and it's grounded right to second. Picked up by Wenzel, and Wenzel flips it over to the first baseman, Drew, for the out. So Zwart is 1 up and 1 down. Bottom of the second inning here, and the first at-bat for the center fielder, Justin Benda. Justin's from Slayton, we should mention. That's Wart. Hails from Edgerton, another town in the southwest corner. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1. 1 out here, bottom of the second. No runs for either team. Pitch fouled straight back and off the padding behind home plate. We have had some excitement. We've already had our play at the plate, first play at the plate of the C tournament here in Milroy, and it ended the first inning, as Randall thought they had marked the scoreboard with a run. Pitch is low, and the count moves to 2-1 to Justin Benda. Two balls and a strike. Strock delivers, and the pitch is fouled back over the concession stand area, maybe even into the farm field. They've got a great setup here with tents and a off-site beer garden. So the fun has come to Milroy in the State C tournament. 2-2 pitch is an off-speed pitch, and nubbing it foul and just out of play is Benda. Mentioned one other game in Class C going on tonight. Hanska and Foley, that game going on in Springfield. You can, if you've subscribed to the full package, just click out of the box and flip on over and you can watch it there. The hanging breaking ball is slapped out to center field, but it is almost right into the tracks of the center fielder, Peterchik. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Kevin Johnson. Caleb Strock looking to equal the second inning of Luke Droger with the 1-2-3, and he gets a swing and the miss on the first pitch. Kevin Johnson. 0-1 pitch is a fastball up and away, and it's 1-1. Another swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2, 2 outs here, bottom of the second. The Randall Cubs trying to get out of 1-2-3 inning, and the ground ball goes to the other Strock. The throw towards first base is up the line, and it collides with the runner. So safe at first will be Johnson, and that will be an error. Give the error to the young Strock, the 24-year-old older brother Strock. Doesn't help his brother's case. That's Brett. So Brett will come up to lead off the third inning for Randall. Makes the error and keeps this inning alive. Maybe he didn't want to grab the lumber yet. He wanted to delay it just for a second. And now with a runner at first, we have the number 8 hitter, and it is the catcher, Carlson. Trent Carlson, and he looks at ball one. 2 down and a runner at first here in a scoreless game. We're in the bottom of the second. That pitch is going to be called strike, and count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Trent Carlson from Lake Wilson, and he looks at a pitch that is outside. Carlson a catcher, so he knows where that strike zone's at. He doesn't even think a second time to know that that was a ball. 2 balls and a strike, 2 out. Strock looks at the base runner. Johnson delivers, and a swing and a miss. Got the high fastball past him, and we've evened the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the second inning. Bottom of the second inning, as my guy Vince Scully would say. Deuces are wild. I'll only use that 1 time per night. We'll never say it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hadley and Randall in a scoreless game in the second inning. Good breaking ball, and that's going to be called strike 3. Pulled the string on it a little bit, and he gets Carlson to look. So we played 2 complete innings, and we don't have any score. So we're going to go to the top of the third. It's Hadley taking the field. Randall will come for their third hacks. You're watching the State Baseball Tournament, Class C, here in Milroy on PrepSpotlight.tv. All action, Class B, Class C, Class A tomorrow, all right here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
We are getting ready for the top of the third inning here in Milroy, and it was noted by one of the members of Press Row, and it is a very packed Press Row, as we have radio stations from Marshall and Little Falls, a couple from Little Falls, and of course Greg and I here from PrepSpotlight.tv. So great media coverage of this tournament. It was noted how hospitable the people of Milroy have been so far. All right, let's pick up the action here in the top of the third inning, and Brett Strock is coming to the plate. First pitch, a ball by Droger, and he comes back inside of the plate, inside part of the plate, and he misses just inside. So 2 balls and no strikes to Brett Strock. Now, Strock made the error in the last inning, so can he atone for it? Although that error didn't lead to anything. And a pitch that looked like it was over the plate might have been up just a little bit, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to Brett Strock, son of the manager, Chuck. And the 3-0 pitch is in for a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Luke Droger has pitched 2 innings, given up just 1 hit. That hit actually led to the third out of that first inning as a play at the plate. The count runs full as he comes out of the hole. Luke does from his 3-0 hole, and it is back-to-back strikes, makes it 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the third, and a chopper. That is what we call a chopper. Not sure Strock has the speed to beat it out. Fielded by Droger, and Droger makes the play. So he has actually recorded the last 2 outs. A 1 unassisted to end the second inning, and then he has the 1-3 put out to start the third inning. So now it'll be pitcher versus pitcher, and you don't see this a lot. We didn't see it at all last week in the Class A tournament. Usually you're DHing for the pitcher, but here the pitcher, Caleb Strock, will hit in the 9th spot. And you see why he hits. He comes up swinging and rifles a hard base hit to center field to get the second hit of the game. And we'll go back up to the top of the order. So helping the cause is the pitcher. Thomas Kunkel now at the plate. Kunkel reached on the air. He dribbled one out to second, and it was misplayed there. He reached, but then he was erased on a ground ball that went back to the pitcher, and he was erased at second base on a 1-6 fielder's choice. So a throw back over to first base. And the pitch by Droger is just inside. Droger has gone inside a couple pitches that he thought he had the plate, to the disagreement of our umpire, Mr. Roberts. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one catches the plate, and it's called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. We have a runner at first base, and it's the pitcher, Caleb Strock. Strock will continue to run. Throw back over to Strock, sub 20. You must think that he has the fresh legs at his sub 20 at 19 years old, that he might be a jackrabbit on the base paths. 1 ball, 1 strike. Droger checks, but he goes. The runner goes, and that is a slow grounder that they're able to get. So the nice play by Winicky there. Fields and throws to get Kunkel. So the second out is recorded. Strock ends up at second base. He was running on the pitch. So Kunkel has hit the ball towards second base, both at bats. Peterchick up. Peterchick grounded back to the pitcher. It ended up being a fielder's choice in his first appearance. So we've got a runner at second. 2 down in the top of the third inning in a scoreless game between the Hadley Buttermakers and the Randall Cubs. This is the top of the third. Cubs are the visiting team. Droger looks back at second, delivers a breaking ball, and it's fouled. Tip. Strike 1. You look out to the western skies, and the dark stuff appears to have slid past us, but I still see some remnants of some lightning, with the sun on the verge of setting to the western skies here in Milroy tonight. We're in the southwest corner of the state. No balls and a strike, 2 outs, runner at second base. Nary a breeze here in Milroy. I'm looking out at the flag, and timeout called at the plate. Looking at the flag in left field above the Schlemmer Tilling sign. And it has barely been moving for the last 45 minutes. It was breezy in the Twin Cities when we left today as we stopped by Schlepper Stadium, not to be confused with Schlemmer Tilling, in Shakopee. No balls and a strike. Droger delivers. Breaking ball nearly hits Peterchick. And the count goes to 1-1. Second time that the Cubs have had a runner on second base. Peterchick, who's at the plate right now, he was actually thrown out at the plate in the first, if you're just joining us. 1-1 pitch, grounded towards second. Winicky fields it on a high hop right at his chest, and he's going to flip it over to Zwart, and that ends the inning. So back-to-back batters hit the ball to the second baseman, and nothing happens in this inning except a little dust around second base. So we're going to go to the bottom of the third inning. It's scoreless. Hadley will come back to the plate, see what they can do. It's 0-0 at the State C tournament. We are in Milroy, Minnesota. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. quite a bit. So we're back with you, audio-wise. We are at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Audio difficulties for a few seconds. As I was mentioning, 250 people at the ballpark tonight is the maximum that the laws will allow. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the shortstop, Jacob Van Dam. Van Dam's first appearance of the game, plate appearance of the game, shortstop. The left-handed pitching Caleb Strock delivers the full count pitch, and he delivers a walk. So that is walk number 3 on the game for Strock. And 1 strikeout.
Now batting right fielder, number 11, Joe Larson.
3 walks. He walked the leadoff batter in the first inning. It turned into a double play, 6-4-3 on the double play, so he was not hurt. We have learned throughout the years that leadoff walks do haunt. Looking to lay down the bunt and advance the runner is the leadoff hitter, Larson. Larson walked his first appearance, as I mentioned. Larson, the right fielder. Squares the bunt. Oh, and they catch the runner off. Van Dam got caught. He was looking for him to deliver home, and they go 1, 3, 6. Might have been 1-3-4 on the pickoff. So Strock comes up with another helper with the pickoff. Larson delivers a little blooper, and Drew will reach out and make the play for the Randall Cubs. So the early threat again is minimized, and there are 2 down.
Now batting third baseman, number 14, Nick Bruning.
Bruning at the plate. Bruning grounded into the double play. In his first appearance. Nick Bruning. And the first pitch is a strike. 2 outs here, bottom of the third. A breaking pitch misses low, and it's a ball and a strike. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Hadley and Randall scoreless. I think the chances of the Storm have dissipated. Yay? Nay? I get a yay from Greg. We're going to have a conference at the plate, or at the mound. Zach goes out to talk to Strock. They've figured out whatever was the disagreement between the two of them, and the 1-1 pitch is on the way to Nick Bruning. Pitch misses just off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 pitches outside, and the count rose to 3-1. Caleb Strock has not given up a hit yet, and has gone 2 2/3 of an inning, but he has walked 4. So there's been their share of base runners for the Hadley Buttermakers. Walk number 4.
Now batting second baseman, number 24,
Eric Winicky coming up. Winicky reached on a walk as well in the first inning. 2 walks in the first, 2 walks here in the third for Caleb Strock. The lefty delivers, and it's outside, ball 1. Runner at first with 2 outs. Nobody has been plated yet in this game. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the Town Ball State C Championship Amateur Baseball here in Minnesota. Games in Springfield and in Shakopee tonight. 2 balls and no strikes now as the pitch misses high. to Winicky. Winicky, the second baseman. Untucked jersey, batting from the right side. He looks at a fastball that catches the plate, and the Hadley fans sound off in the crowd. A lot of Hadley gray shirts. And the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Runner at first is Bruning. He gets a lead of about 3 steps against the left-handed pitching Strock. Strock, not even looking at the runner, delivers, and it's outside, 3 balls and a strike. So in danger of walking his 5th batter in just the first 3 innings. Again, he has not given up a hit. Both teams have committed an error in this game. Runner goes, and the pitch is high. So he advances on the walk. 5th walk. Runners at first and second. It's the first time that Hadley has had 2 runners on base. Mentioned they are making their 6th trip in a row to the state tournament. And it was just 4 years ago that they were able to win a couple games and get to the round of 16. 48 teams start the tournament. 32 teams play this weekend. 16 teams are getting a bye. So the first pitch now is delivered to Alex Peterson, and it is all 1. So Strock having an issue with the strike zone. 3 walks this inning. Runners at first and second. There was a pickoff play that eliminated one of the walks. There he finds the plate with a strike on the fastball to the right-handed hitting Peterson. Peterson struck out in his first at-bat in the first inning, and that ended the first inning. Runners at first and second. 1-1 pitch, and it's over for a strike. Nice breaking ball by Strock. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Caleb Strock trying to pitch himself out of his own man-made jam, and he misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning. The lights now taking more effect on the field here in Milroy. 2-2 pitch on the way from Strock, and the breaking ball is going to hang high and outside. So full count, runners will be going. This is danger time with the runners moving. Any ball that's hit to any gap will score 2. Three and 2. Peterson waiting for the pitch, and it's outside, so the bases have been walked full. Strock just having trouble this inning. 4 walks in an inning, but it hasn't led to anything. Just the bases loaded. Conference at the mound, and the elder Strock is just needing to calm them down. They haven't been in a state tournament since 1994. They're rebuilding things with the Randall amateur baseball program, and in this first state appearance in 26 years, they just want to make sure that they get the things done right. They don't beat themselves in this game. 3 walks have loaded the bases, 4 walks in the inning. And a hit batter will score the first run. So Zwart, the left-handed hitting first baseman, is plunked. And that will score. So give him a hard-earned RBI. And Hadley marks the scoreboard without getting a base knock. So Zwart is at first. Peterson is at second. Over at third base is now Winicky. And scoring the run is Bruning. So Bruning scores the first run, Nick does, and it's 1-0 with 2 outs. All this coming with 2 outs, really, and there's your base hit coming off the bat of Benda. Justin Benda will get the RBI, 2 RBIs on the single. Runners advancing to third is Zwart, and the 2 RBI single to right field by Justin Benda makes it 3-0. 5 walks and finally a base hit. 2 runs batted in for Benda. Over to third goes Swart.
Left fielder number 7, Johnson.
And Hadley mixing it up with finally their first hit of the game, and it's going to plate 2. What a key time to get that base hit when the bases had been walked full and then a hit batter to score a run. Well, that's going to bring up Kevin Johnson, and Johnson flies out to right field, or flies it to right field, and camping under there is Jennings, and Jennings is going to make the play. So 8 batters come to the plate. 3 runs are going to score off just 1 base hit. The run is earned, but 5 walks in an inning and a hit batter. That's tough to overcome, but only 3 runs score. So we're going to go to the top of the 4th inning, and we'll see what happens when we come back. You're watching state tournament coverage on PrepSpotlight.tv. Well, we talked about it. Walks will haunt, but when you get that many walks and a hit batter in an inning, what is that called? Might be disastrous. But only 3 runs plated. There was a potential for a bigger number to be put up in that inning. So we go to the top of the 4th inning, and Luke Droger, the right-hander on the hill for the Hadley Buttermakers. And he is facing the numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Wenzel grounds over to third, and the play is made. As Bruning fires onto Swart, and the out is recorded.
Now batting first baseman number 13, Rick Drew.
Well, we're hearing the remnants of a little rain coming down. Again, we don't have a lot of clouds. We have some level of clouds, but not dark, ominous clouds above us. But there is rain coming down right now as folks try to get underneath the grandstand. Rick Drew coming to the plate. He is the person who singled in the first inning, the only base hit, or the first base hit, as he flies towards center. Camping underneath that is Benda, and Benda's going to make the play. Justin Benda delivered that 2 RBI single. But Drew delivered the base hit in the first inning, and it was the play that ended up getting Petercheck thrown out at the plate for the Randall Cubs, which ended the first inning. So Drew now 1 for 2 on the game. And coming up is Matt Otremba. Otremba wearing number 5 and playing left field. He looks at a strike as Luke Droger is getting ready to deliver another quick 1-2-3 inning. Droger went 1-2-3 in the second inning, gave up a base hit in the third, but only faced the 4 batters. Here he's 0-2 with 2 outs, facing Otremba. Droger delivers, and it's hung on to. It's foul tip, but into the glove. And the young Carlson hangs on to it for the strikeout. So call that a foul. So 1-2-3 goes Droger here in the 4th inning. We played 3.5. It is 3-0. The Hadley Buttermakers are leading the Randall Cubs. We're going to step aside. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C baseball tournament.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good!
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Look at the party deck here in Milroy. And an umbrella up as there is a light rain falling right now, but nothing that's going to stop us at this moment in time. Clouds a little dark to our south, but nothing off to the west as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Trent Carlson will come up, and he'll lead off for the Hadley Buttermakers. Carlson hanging on to that foul tip on the third strike to end the top half of the fourth inning. Trent struck out his first time up. That ended the second inning. Caleb Strock has delivered 2 balls to start this inning, so his control issues might be carrying over here to the bottom of the fourth inning. We do have a score coming from another game that you could be watching on PrepSpotlight.tv, and that is the State C game over in Springfield. And Hanska over by New Ulm is leading Foley 6-2. There's been 2 home runs in that game, 1 for each team. They're going to the top of the fourth in that one. Hanska with a 6-2 lead. 2-1 the count to Carlson, and the breaking ball misses for ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike. Could we see yet another base on balls to start an inning? It would be the third in 4 innings if it happens, and he does miss. So I don't know if he can't grip the baseball well enough. I believe we're going to see a pitching change made. So I have it at 6 walks and a hit batter. We'll see if the manager, Chuck Strock, will pull Caleb, and Caleb doesn't even let him get to the mound. The little flip of the ball. And a tough outing for Caleb Strock as he goes 3+ innings. We're going to get a look at who they bring in here. And we'll hold it here until we see who comes towards the number 19 is who that is. So that's Wenzel. Wenzel's coming. Strock's coming back into the game. He's going to grab his glove. But Wenzel, who was the second baseman, will find his way to the mound. So we'll go from a lefty to a righty. And it looks like Caleb Strock is going to put his first baseman's glove on, and he'll go over and play first base. And Drew is going to go over and play second base. So that's the way that is working. So it is Wenzel coming into the game, and we're going to just keep it here. So Travis Wenzel will pick it up with a runner at first and nobody out here in the fourth inning. 3+ innings for Strock, and he only gives up 1 base hit. 3 runs, all of them earned. I've got him for 6 walks and a hit batter, 1 strikeout. So he would be on the hook for this loss in the Cubs' first appearance since 1994, if that's the case. But we still have a long way to go tonight in the bottom of the fourth inning. So Wenzel, the right-hander, who hails from Randall, will get the chance to find the strike zone. The number 9 hitter, Van Dam, is at the plate. First pitch is a ball to Van Dam. Van Dam walked in the third inning and then got picked off. Ground ball to short. Kunkel will field it. Flip on to Drew at second. And unable to finish up the play as the throw was a little low and Strzok was unable to pull it out of the dirt. So 6-4 on the out at first base, and Van Dam is going to reach on the fielder's choice. So he is now 0 for 1 in the game. Carlson is eliminated at second base. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Buttermakers scoring 3 times in the 3rd inning. Back to the top of the order we go, and it's Joe Larson. First pitch is a breaking ball that is off the plate, ball 1. Larson walked his first time up, and he popped out to the first baseman, who was Drew at the time, in the 3rd inning. So he's 0 for 1. And the 1-0 pitch is a fastball that's going to miss low. 2 balls and no strikes. Remember, we also have Class B action going on from Shakopee. Steve Thompson on the call of that game. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and the pitch is over for a strike as Wenzel delivers. A lot of these kids grew up together playing traveling baseball in the Little Falls area for the Randall Cubs. And the 2-1 pitch is going to be lofted and fair. Foul. Foul. It is outside of the track and foul. At first glance, it looked like it might have been inside the chalk, but you can hear the Hadley crowd, especially those that had a better look down the line, thought it was fair. And the grousing continues. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first and 1 out. Joe Larson at the plate. Larson, the right fielder, has already gotten an assist on a play in the first inning. A throw from right field, and the foul ball is fielded by the gentleman in the third base coaching box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And the pitch by Wenzel is flared foul. So we have Strocks at the corners now. One playing third and one playing first base. And the pitch is scooped out towards left field, but it's going to hang up in the air, and the play is made by Otremba. So a nice running grab by Matt Otremba out in left field. And Larson is out number 2. It's going to bring up Nick Bruning at the plate. Nick scored the first run of this game. He reached on a walk and just walked his way around until there was a hit batter. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Wenzel delivers, and it's fouled away down the right field side. A lot of fouls going that direction from the right-handed hitters against both pitchers tonight for the Cubs. So Travis Wenzel trying to get out of this 4th inning with no further damage. Took over after a leadoff walk. No balls and a strike and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bruning 0 for 1, I'm sorry. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play, and he's their top hitter, as I mentioned earlier in the game, at .433 in this 2020 town ball season. Three runs in the 3rd. runner at first base. Wenzel delivers to Bruning, and it's low. Ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Only game being played here tonight. We'll play 4 at the ballpark tomorrow. Greg, you ready for that? Back will hold up. 1-1 pitch on the way to Bruning. Ball 2. Nick hails from Sioux Falls, according to the roster, but likely with the ties to the area. Where's number 14? 2-1 pitch on the way, and it's off the end of the bat, grounded towards second. Drew's going to scoop, field, and throw on the first for the out, and Bruning is out number 3, so no runs come across. Still, no hits, just a walk and a fielder's choice and 1 runner stranded. So that ends the 4th inning. We'll go to the top of the 5th with the score still 3-0. Hadley over Randall. You're watching the State C Tournament, brought to you by Wings and Xfinity and the Minnesota Baseball Association, and you're watching it right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. The framing and the composition of the shot is exquisite. As we look at the setting sun sky to the west with all the purples and the oranges and the pinks that the setting sun sky deliver. It's what happens when we pay top dollar for camera operators. This is what we get. You're watching the Class C State Baseball Tournament. We like to call it Town Ball. And the Hadley Buttermakers from here in the southwest corner of the state of Minnesota taking on the Randall Cubs. Randall residing up near Little Falls, and right now it's Hadley residing with the lead, 3-0. We'll go to the top of the 5th inning. Randall will come to the plate with the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters to face Luke Droger. Droger has gone the first 4 innings, giving up just 2 hits. He hasn't given up a run. So the catcher, Alex Zach, comes to the plate. Alex has had to work kind of hard behind the plate with a lot of pitches being thrown by his starting pitcher, but he's going to take his spot in the left-handed batter box, and he looks at ball 1 on the pitch from Luke. Luke, you are my pitcher. 1-0 pitch on the way. Is hit hard out to right, but it's hanging up, and Larson is there to make the play. Joe Larson's right where the ball was hit, and there's 1 out. So Zach got himself a pitch to hit, and he put the wampum stick on it, but he drilled it hard right to the right fielder. Producer's looking at me wanting to know why the score bug is not up on the screen. We'll oblige. The designated hitter, Sam Nagel, is up. He grounded back to the pitcher to end the 2nd inning. Nagel looks at the first pitch. It's a strike. Second pitch is a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 5th inning. 7-3 the score in the other Class C game, as Hanska is still leading by 4 over Foley. That game in the 5th inning, just like we are. Games are moving along at about the same pace. Ball 2, 2-1 as the curveball is inside off the plate. Drogan delivers the pitch, and it's fouled back by Nagel, and the count goes to 2-2. No runs, 2 hits so far for the Randall Cubs. Very interesting to see the history of Randall baseball. It started as the Cardinals. Cubs were a secondary team. They changed names back and forth between the Cardinals and the Cubs throughout their history, and that's interesting, as you know, Major League Baseball fans know the great rivalry between the Cubs and the Cardinals, and Randall has had both those nicknames for their teams throughout close to 80 years of baseball history in the town of Randall. Some great teams up in the Little Falls area. Sobieski, of course, perennial power. They're playing Class B now as Nagel delivers a base hit, the third hit of the game for the Randall Cubs. Nagel slaps it out to center field. So give Nagel the base hit. Third hit of the game. Rich Drew with the base hit in the first inning, and then Caleb Strock, who is on deck, got the hit in the third inning. So this is Brett Strock. He grounded back to the pitcher in the third inning as the leadoff hitter of that inning. 1 out and 1 on here as Randall tries to get the goose egg off the scoreboard in their first appearance since 1994. Strike one on the first pitch. Same pitch misses outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitcher, Droger, is a Edgerton youngster. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit towards third. Picked up and fielded by Bruning, but the throw was low. The runner at second gets up. That's Nagel. He tries for a second to make his way to third and then thinks otherwise and scrambles back to the bag. So error 5. The second error of the game for the Buttermakers, and that's going to move Nagel to second. We got a Strock at first and a Strock at the plate. Now Strock, who pitches left-handed, bats right-handed, and he got a base hit in his first at-bat. So runners at first and second here. 1 out. Droger hits the outside corner, strike 1. Runners at first and second without 1 out. Droger delivers fastball, more of a slider, and it's fools Strock, swing and a miss, and it's count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second. Droger fires a fastball, but this one misses outside, and the count's going to level up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-0 your score. The Hadley Buttermakers leading the Randall Cubs here in the first game of Milroy play in the Class C tournament. Droger comes to a set. Dancing off a second is Nagel, and the fastball inside misses. Strock will go down swinging as the breaking ball, the slider, gets him swinging. Good pitch by Droger, very good pitch. And Strock, Caleb Strock, goes to 1 for 2 on the day. 2 outs, runners at first and second. And the leadoff hitter, Thomas Kunkel, at the plate. Kunkel 0 for 2. He reached on an error to start the game, and he grounded out to second base both times through to second. Off the mound, stepping off the mound and getting the runner, Nagel, off the bag and picked off. So the step off the back of the mound, and Nagel just didn't have his eye on the pitcher at that moment, and all it takes is 1 second to take your eye off the mound and off the guy with the ball, and you're out, and that ends the inning. So no runs come across for the Randall Cubs. They did collect their third hit of the game, 1 hit in the inning, and 1 runner left on base. So in the top of the 6th, it'll be Kunkel back up at the plate to lead off the 6th inning, just like he led off the game. We're going to step aside. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv as we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Hadley Buttermakers out front, 3-0 over the Randall Cubs. Welcome back to Milroy, Minnesota, the Yankees ballpark here, home of the Milroy Yankees, one of 2 teams here in Milroy. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Hadley Buttermakers up 3-0 in Game 1 of the State C tournament in Milroy. As we mentioned, the other game in Class C going on in Springfield tonight. Hanscom, down by New Ulm, has got a 4-run lead over Foley. Eric Winicky will lead things off against Wenzel. Wenzel pitching for the second inning, came in relief in the in the fourth inning. And he's back here in the fifth inning, and he's facing Winicky. Winicky, guess what, has walked twice. A lot of walks on this scorebook for the Buttermakers. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Wenzel, the kick delivers, and the curveball is good for a strike. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Winicky 2 walks. He did score in the third inning. One of the 3 runs that scored. He came in on the base hit. First run was scored on a hit batter. Bases were loaded. That scored the 1 run. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Then the base knock, the only knock of the game so far for the Hadley Buttermakers, and it's a 2 RBI knock by Justin Brenda, the center fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Winicky, and Winicky's going to go down swinging. Another nice breaking pitch. First strikeout for Wenzel. And coming to the plate is Alex Peterson. Alex Peterson. All right, everybody, we are back. We had a power outage here in Milroy. A lot of activity happening, and I think with everything going on, and there's first state tournament hosting, and all the excitement, and all the vendors, and the crowd, and the media table being full with 3 radio stations, and And us here on PrepSpotlight.tv, we blew a fuse. So it's a 20-minute warming up of the lights. So as you kind of see the field right now, it looks lighter than it actually is. It feels just a little bit darker. The umpires are back out onto the field right now as we go to the pick action back up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Scoreboard is still out power-wise, but we are back up, and it looks like all the radio stations and the press box is back up. So we should be ready to go. The score is actually 3-0, not 4-0, and we'll try to figure this out as to get it back down to 3. 3-0, Hadley leading. There we go, back to the regular score, and as we pick things back up, we have one out here in the 5th inning. And Alex Peterson was at the plate. One out, and the Randall Cubs are back out onto the field. At least the pitcher is. And his second baseman, Rich Drew. And we will get things going again. So what happened about 25 minutes ago is just a plain surge of power is what we felt. Just knocked everything out except for the outfield bank of lights. They had stayed on throughout the entirety of this outage, but it was our area behind home plate, the press box, and everything out behind us. As I said, they've got concessions. We've got the trailer for the Minnesota Baseball Association directors who are running this tournament. So all that, and on this warm summer night, maybe we have to have everybody in Milroy turn off their air conditioning for now. Just for another hour and a half, they can do that. Let's get us through this game as we take a look at it. So everybody for Randall is back out onto the field right now, and taking his warm-up tosses is Travis Wenzel. Wenzel came into the game in relief in the 4th inning after a leadoff walk. And got himself out of that jam by retiring 3 batters in a row, and then he get the strikeout. So he's retired all 4 batters that he has faced. So he's gotten an out in all 4 batters. There was a fielder's choice in there as well. So Wenzel at the plate, or on the mound, and he'll be pitching again to Alex Zach, the catcher, and it is Alex Peterson who is at the plate. One out. I don't remember if there were any balls or strikes. I had not written anything down. The pitch, I think, was on the way when we went after it. The umpire turning around to the press box to signal that we are ready to play on the field. And we've got to kill the music. that is like the old needle across the vinyl, killing of the music, and we are ready to go. So they're going to have no balls, no strikes on the scoreboard. I'm not sure if that was the count. And Wenzel is ready to deliver to Peterson. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out, and it's 3-0. The Hadley Buttermakers at the plate, and he comes right in and hits Peterson. So that's not all that surprising based on the delay, and the pitcher comes back. He did get his warm-up tosses, but there's no doubt it was you're in the middle of a game and you're pitching and you've got your juices flowing, and all of a sudden you throw a pitch and power goes out. You gotta recover from that, and that's easier said than it is done. So Max Zwart will come to the plate. Zwart was hit by a pitch and gets the RBI in his second at bat. He is 0 for 1, but give him an RBI because he was hit by the pitch. So he has 1 RBI, and the next batter up, Justin Benda, has the other 2. So a runner at first and 1 out, and this is first baseman Max Zwart, and he nubs it right out in front of the plate. It's picked up by the catcher, and Zach throws out to the first baseman, Strock, and the runner moves over to second base. So 2-3 if you're scoring at home for the second out of the inning, and moving over to second base is Peterson, and that's going to bring up Justin Benda. Well, Benda had the only hit of the game, and it was good for 2 runs batted in. So he has the chance now with a runner in scoring position to do a little bit more damage. Curveball misses inside, ball 1. Breaking pitch of some sort, and it's 1 ball, no strike. Bottom of the 5th inning, it is 3-0. Hadley over Randall, and the fastball is good for a strike. Nice pitch by Wenzel. And he tries to work himself out of a jam where he hit the batter to get the runner on base. 1-1 pitch is another good breaking pitch, and that catches the zone and maybe buckle Benda just a little bit. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Benda with a base hit in his last at-bat with the 2 runs batted in. He flew out to center field in his first appearance. Pitches in the dirt and skips away from the catcher, Zach, and that's going to move Peterson over to third base on the wild pitch. So the first wild pitch of the game, and now the runner is just 90 feet away from making it a 4-0 game. Power outage delay taking about 25 minutes. We'll see what it does to both teams. It has zapped a little bit, and not trying to give you an electronic pun, but zapped the pitcher Wenzel just a little bit. He did get an out, but he has now hit a batter, and that batter is running over to third. Peterson comes sprinting down the line as he's not being held or being checked at third, and no intention of going. He was just trying to get the attention of the pitcher Wenzel. Count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the 3-2 pitch is grounded to short and out of the inning as the throw goes over from Kunkel to Straub. So Benda does not bring in the runner who had advanced on to third. And we go to the 6th inning. Still 3-0 is your score. No runs and no hits. There's 1 man left on base. And we are going to take a break right here on PrepSpotlight.tv as we come back to the 6th inning with Hadley leading Randall 3-0. As we go to the 6th, we'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Peterchick reached first base in the first inning on a fielder's choice, and then in a play that was very much instrumental into this game. He was thrown out at the plate off a single to right field, Larson in right field with the throw that got Peterson at the plate. Well, a ground ball to second, and that is the second error by Winicky. So he made an error in the first inning on a play that was hit right at him, and now the errant throw, his second error, the third error by Hadley in the game, and with one out, we have a runner on first base. Actually, second, as I'm looking at my scorebook, Peterchick made his way over to second base. So now a runner in scoring position with one out, and that will bring up the number 3 hitter, the pitcher now, Travis Wenzel. Wenzel 0 for 2 on 2 groundouts. He has a chance to help his cause now as the pitcher with a runner in scoring position. And a ground ball towards the hole in short, and a nice play by Van Dam to knock it down. So Peterchick saw that, the runner at second. He decided not to go anywhere, and it's a base hit. So the 4th base hit of the game for the Randall Cubs, and now they have runners at first and second here in the 6th inning with one down. Rich Drew's at the plate. Drew singled in that first inning. It was his base hit that ended up with the runner being thrown out at the plate. And just like then, Peterchick is sitting at second base, Drew at the plate. Very much the same combination we saw in the first inning. So runners at first and second, one out here in the top half of the 6th inning. Druger misses after getting a strike on the first pitch, and the count is 1-1 to Drew. Drew flew out in the 4th inning to the center fielder, so he is 1 for 2. Druger wheeled and walked towards the runner at second baseman, Peterchick. Peterchick at second. You've got Wenzel at first, and you've got the cleanup hitter, Drew, at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Droger delivers, and Droger has the ground ball to second. This time, Winicky is making the play, but both runners will advance. So 2 runners now are in scoring position. Runners at second and third, and Matt Otremba is at the plate. Otremba tonight struck out in his first 2 appearances. And he looks at a breaking ball, a slider for strike 1. Otremba with a chance to put a dent in this 3-run deficit, and he's looking at strike 2. I believe that's the count as 0-2. They have it on the board as 1-1, but I believe it is 0-2, and it is 0-2. The umpire gives us a signal. So runners at second and third. Otremba at the plate. Droger delivers, and it is fouled back. Droger into his 6th inning on the hill, and he's trying to get out of this jam. They've committed 3 errors behind him tonight. He has given up 4 hits. So decent play by Van Dam on the 0-2 pitch. It's fouled back as the ground ball into the hole. He made sure he had knocked that ground ball down. Didn't allow at that point in time the runner to advance over to third with less than 2 outs. And with that, now there's 2 outs with the runners at second and third. Still 0-2 to Otremba, and it's fouled right off the helmet of the catcher and over the grandstand. You don't see a lot of foul balls that deflect off a catcher's helmet that leave the ballpark, but that is the case. Carlson took one right off the noggin. And maybe he just either talking signs with the pitcher or just giving himself a chance to get the cobwebs out that were shaken up a little bit by that foul ball. So no balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Hadley leading 3-0 here in the 6th inning. 0-2 pitch on the way, and it's lifted out towards the gap in left center, tracking it down and making the play is Benda. So Benda got a good jump on that fly ball, and he's able to make the play. So 2 runners are stranded, no runs scored, 1 hit, 2 left. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-0 Hadley over Randall, and you're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C baseball tournament here from Milroy on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Runner Janke. Here's one hit in the air to left.
Welcome back to Milroy. Andy Price, Greg Wolfert with you here on PrepSpotlight.tv, and a breeze is cooling things down a little bit. It was a humid night when we got here, about 85 degrees and pretty sticky. It is now cool as the storms pass us to the north and to the east, and we come back to the bottom of the 6th, and it is going to be Kevin Johnson at the plate. Johnson reached on an air, and he also flew out to the right fielder, so he is 0 for 2. And the count goes to 2-0 as Travis Wenzel has missed the zone in his first 2 pitches. The story of the game came in the 3rd inning, and that was 5 walks and a hit batter and 1 base hit. All that led to 3 runs as Johnson swings and misses, and the count goes to 2-1. Wenzel now delivering. And Wenzel fouls it off, and the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 5 walks, 1 hit batter, and 1 base hit. That only added up to 3 runs. You'd think if you take a look at that, that might be a 5-run inning, but they were able to keep the damage to 3 thanks to a picked-off runner. And so those 3 runs, all that have marking the scoreboard at this moment in time. 2-2 pitch is fouled straight back as Wenzel goes with a breaking ball that Johnson is able to fight off. Johnson playing in left field tonight. And the 2-2 pitch from Wenzel's on the way, and he gets the strikeout. So Wenzel's second strikeout. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Trent Carlson. Carlson struck out in his first appearance and then walked. That walk ended the night for Caleb Strock. And on that cue, Caleb Strock is going to catch the foul ball out. So a 3 foul is the second out. And Carlson now is 0 for 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Wenzel, who's come in and done very well. Hit 1 batter. Outside of that, he has been pretty clean in his effort. Bottom of the 6th inning now, 3-0, 2 outs, and this is Jacob Van Dam, the shortstop. And he comes up hacking and fouls off the first pitch, and the count is 0-1. Van Dam walked in the 3rd inning, and then he got picked off. There's been a couple pickoffs tonight and a couple big pickoffs. Curveball misses as it's on the inside of the plate. Wenzel thought that might have got a little bit of the white. It did not, and the count is 1-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Pitch outside on the fastball. Zach trying to frame it back in, but it's outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The Buttermakers trying to extend a 3-0 lead, but Van Dam does not make contact with the curveball, and the count goes to 2-2. There is some activity down in the Hadley Buttermakers bullpen, and now we are going to take a look at what's going on with the umpires. Yep, the umpires are discussing whether there was a pitch or not as the bullpen is active, and just as I was looking down, there was a ball that came out of the bullpen. And because the ball came out of the bullpen at that time, I think the base umpire, Michael Steek, he decided that there was a no pitch. So now the home plate umpire is talking to Chuck Strock, the manager, And they are going to call it a no pitch, and it's because Michael Steek, he's saying, I called it. I'm the one who said no pitch because there was a ball in play that came out of, or near in play, that came out of the bullpen. And the base umpire, Michael Steek, is very emphatic with what he's telling the manager, Chuck Straw. So we're going to take that pitch off the board, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. So we're going to wave that last strike off, and we'll pick up play again. So the deliberation is complete. The decision has been made. 2 outs, 2 balls and a strike. Wenzel throwing the breaking pitch and doesn't get the pitch on the outside part of the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Wenzel delivers, and that pitch is going to be called a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes is the count. So Van Dam thought he was headed towards first base, and he doesn't get the call. So now that it's 3-2, let's just start this thing all over. We've seen a few more pitches than we thought we were going to see in this at-bat, but Wenzel's going to deliver. Curveball, strike 3. The breaking ball gets over the inside part of the plate, backs up on him, and the backwards K, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Wenzel, who has done a very nice job in relief, and the Randall Cubs dugout is fired up right now as they get out of that little minor discussion on the rules of the game. Nobody reaching base for Hadley in the inning, so no runs, no hits, and no errors, nobody left on base. We are going to the 7th inning, and we will come back with some scores and reach back out to you with the final 3 innings of this one. Hadley and Randall at the State C Tournament. We'll be back right after this. The Hadley Buttermakers leading with 3 innings left to play in this one, possibly, maybe some more. Why not? We've had a little power outage. Why not some extra innings tonight? As Hadley making their sixth straight trip to the State C Tournament, taking on the Randall Cubs, making their first trip since 1994. The Randall Cubs excited to be here with a very young team, a team that's rejuvenating baseball at the town team level in Randall and the Little Falls area. And they are looking to make a dent here. They have not been able to make a dent on the scoreboard against the pitcher Luke Droger. Droger from Edgerton pitching for Hadley. And he's going to see the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters, and it's the catcher right off the bat, the left-handed hitting catcher Alex Zach. Zach 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. They've had 4 hits compared to Hadley's 1 hit. So they're out-dueling him on the hit column and the scoreboard. Zach isn't happy about a breaking ball that's called strike 1 over the inside part of the plate to the left-handed hitter. Droger delivering an off-speed pitch, and it's strike 2, so he gets ahead of Zach, count 0-2. If they keep with the order, it'll be Sam Nagel and Brett Strock batting second and third in this inning. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball, and it catches Zach looking. He must have been thinking a breaking ball was coming. The strikeout for Droger, and that is the first out here in the 7th inning. 5 strikeouts right now for Droger, and the pitch on the breaking ball is popped straight back, and that will go out of play to Nagel. So Nagel got the base hit in the 5th inning, which was their 3rd hit of the game. Nagel was picked off at second base. for the third out of the inning. He grounds towards Van Dam at short. Van Dam slings it over sidearm and makes the out. So 2 outs, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Brett Strock. Strock reached on an error. He also grounded out to the pitcher. Strock was on first when Nagel was picked off of second in the 5th inning. It is sometimes you make the plays, and those who make the most plays in the key situations usually win the baseball game. And they had runners at first and second in that 5th inning and were unable to plate because of the pickoff to end the inning, where on the other side of it, it was 5 walks, a hit batter, and a base hit that produced the 3 runs for Hadley. So strike 1 to Strock. Droger delivers, ground ball towards third. That's Bruning. Bruning's going to fire over to first, and they make the out to end the inning. So it's the 7th inning stretch. We're going to the bottom of the 7th, and the Hadley Buttermakers looking to move on to the 2nd round of the State C tournament. They lead it 3-0. And we'll be back right after this on PrepSpotlight.tv. We're going to take this break and show you what happened last week in the Class A tournament, some of the top highlights from last week's first round of the Class A tournament, which is played at St. Anthony Village. We'll be right back here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Now he cracks one hard to left field. A 2-run home run. Dead center field.
And the pitch. Grounded towards the right side and past the diving first baseman. Coming up throwing is the right fielder. There will be a play at the plate, and he is safe. He gets underneath the tag. One in the 2nd, and another one. How about that? The trifecta of home runs as Davis hammers it out.
Ready for the fly ball. Pretty well hit the left field. Bulow going back for it. Still going, and it is off the wall. Or the fence, I should say. Knight around third, throw to the plate, and it would have got him, but Granger could not hang on.
Runner Janke. Here's one hit in the air to left. Carrying deep away back. Miller to the fence. His 2nd home run of the night. A 2-run shot to left.
One. Back with you here in Milroy, and the 1-1 pitch is fouled away. And the count goes to 1-2 strikes. Joe Larson, the leadoff hitter for Hadley. He is up for the 4th time tonight. He walked in the 1st inning. He was erased on a fielder's choice, and he is 0 for 2 overall. And he hits it right in front of the catcher. The catcher bounces on it quickly, and the 2-3 out. Put out is for the first inning, or first out of the 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th inning. It's going to bring up Nick Bruning is up. Bruning scoring the 1st run of the game. He was part of the walk parade of the 3rd inning. They only have 1 hit. They've scored 3 runs, and that's on the. They were benefactors of 5 walks in an inning and a hit batter. So Nick Bruning at the plate right now with 1 out. Besides the walk, he grounded into the double play his first time up, and he says, hey, don't talk about me grounding into a double play when I just rope one hard to left field. So give Bruning a hit. That's the 2nd hit of the game for the Buttermakers. And with 1 out, there's a runner at first, and that's going to bring up Eric Winicky, the 2nd baseman. Winicky also scored, walked and scored in the 3rd inning. He walked in the 1st inning as well. He is 0 for 1 with 1 run. So a runner at first is Bruning, Winicky at the plate. It is still Wenzel pitching for the Cubs of Randall. He came into the game in the 4th inning. So he has pitched a full 3 innings with very little damage on the base paths. First pitch a strike. Wenzel comes back and gets Winicky to swing awkwardly at a breaking pitch, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Wenzel not even checking the runner at first. all that closely. Bruning with a 3-step lead, and the breaking pitch is upstairs. Didn't break sharply enough down into the zone, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice crowd on hand here in Milroy as they host a State C tournament. Games in Springfield as well tonight. Fly ball out towards right field, and Jennings is going to camp underneath that one and pull it in. So 2 outs now in the inning, and that brings up Alex Peterson. Peterson scored the 3rd run of that 3rd inning. He's also been hit by a pitch. So a walk and a hit by pitch, and he has also struck out. So he's 0 for 1 in the scorebook, but he's been productive enough that he's been on the base paths twice. Bruning on first base. Travis Wenzel doing a very nice job on the hill for Randall in relief. Breaking ball swung and fouled back, and the count is 0-1. Bottom of the 7th inning here. Game started at 7:30. We're less than 2 hours into this, and we had ourselves a 25-minute delay. The game is, as I love town ball, the games move along at a great pace. And you know what we haven't seen today, Greg? We haven't seen anybody shift. Everybody has played this game straight up tonight. 0-1 pitch is high, 1-1. I love just being able to look out onto the baseball field and not see 5 guys on one side of the field. But that's the only thing I'm going to say about that tonight. I'll go deeper into my soapbox discussion tomorrow. 1-1. And the breaking ball is over for not a strike. Pitch looked good from our vantage point, but it might have missed on the inside part of the plate, and Wenzel is now behind in the count 2-1 to Peterson. Runner at first, 2 down, bottom of the 7th inning. Peterson with a chopper. This will be a very tough play for the 3rd baseman. Throw won't be in time. Strock to Strock, but that ball was hit in just the spot that it is dead man zone for a 3rd baseman, especially one playing behind the bag, which he was. And so we're just going to put runners at first and second, and a base hit. Their first inning where they've had 2 base hits in an inning for Hadley, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Max Zwart. Zwart gets an RBI in the 3rd inning by getting plunked by a pitch with the bases loaded. He's got runners at first and second, and the first pitch is over for a strike. So a little bit of tough luck there for the pitcher. Travis Wenzel might have gotten out of an inning, but a little grounder, the swing grounder, as Zwart swings and misses and is now down 0-2. 0-2 in the count. Zwart grounded to second in his first plate appearance, was hit by the pitch, which led to the RBI in his second, and then he grounded to the catcher in the 5th inning. So he is 0 for 2, but give him an RBI. Runners at first and second, 2 strikes. Fastball misses upstairs and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 down. Wenzel kicks and delivers, grounded towards first, knocked down by Strock, and Caleb is going to pick it up, and he gets the out. So that's 3 unassisted to end the inning, and Caleb, you always root for the guy wearing stirrups, makes a nice play, fielding it off the chest, knocks it down in front of him, and he heads over and makes the out. So we've played 7 full innings. Hadley gets 2 hits in the inning, the first time they've had 2 hits in an inning, but they don't score. 2 runners left on base for Hadley. So we're going to go to the top of the 8th inning, and it is 3-0 right now. Hadley leading the Randall Cubs. We're going to step aside. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C tournament. We've got games in Shakopee Class B and games also at Springfield Class C. You can watch them all right here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
And a strikeout. And that's 2 strikeouts this inning for Droger. So Droger has struck out Caleb Strock and Thomas Kunkel. 2 down. Kyle Peterchek is at the plate. He hits one off the end of the bat, and that is going to fall between Van Dam and Johnson. So a base hit for Peterchek, and he is on base. Peterchek has reached base 3 different times today. That's their 5th hit for the Randall Cubs. 2 up, 2 down in this inning on strikeouts. Strikeouts of Strock and Kunkel. The single for Peterchek, and that's going to bring up Wenzel, who's pitching right now. Started the game at second base. Now he's pitching. And with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th, trying to get something started. Pitch is low from Droger. The young man from Edgerton trying to pitch Hadley into the second round. Runner at first. Wenzel looks at a pitch that breaks over the plate, and the count goes to 1-1. Top of the 8th inning. Grounded towards third and past the third baseman. And we have runners at first and second as Wenzel comes up with a base hit to move Peterchek over to second base. Wenzel's second base hit in a row. Peterchek moves to second. And that's going to bring up Rich Drew. And Drew delivered a base hit his first time up. So runners at first and second, 2 outs. Droger will stay. Quick little conversation with the catcher, Carlson. And again, activity in the Buttermaker bullpen. First and second. 2 outs in the first pitch from Luke. Kicks away from Carlson, and both runners are going to go. Carlson never saw it. He was looking towards the backstop. Instead, it had kicked out down the first base line. The pitcher has to come and grab it, so that wild pitch is going to move 2 runners into scoring position. So Droger, who has struck out the first 2 in this inning, is now finding himself in a little bit of a lurch. Drew the left-handed hitting first baseman, then moved over to second, hits it to second, misplayed by the shortstop. I'm sorry, Van Dam, and that's going to be a run. So Van Dam lets it get underneath him, and that's going to score a run. So that will be error number 4. And Hadley is doing their darndest to keep. I would say that is an unearned run if they're going to call that an error, because that would be the 3rd out. So give the run scored to Petershik. Runners at first and third, and Otremba is going to be at the plate. We'll see if Luke is still going to be pitching. He hurt a little bit by his defense. 4 errors, amazingly, 4 errors in the game for Hadley. First run of the tournament for Randall, their first appearance since 1994. So there's going to be a pinch runner. Number 1 coming into the game, and that is Dane Couture. Dane Couture. And we'll call him Dane Couture. And he is at first base. So Couture pinch running. Runners at first and third, the tying run now on base. Otremba up, and he's going to line a base hit towards center. Can't be hauled in by Brenda, and that's going to bring in the second run. That brings in Wenzel. So give the RBI right there to Otremba. And it is 3-2, just like that. And runners at first and second. So Couture, the pinch runner at second. Otremba is at first base here in the top half of the 8th inning. 3-2 is your score, and now we're going to see a pitching change. So we're going to see Zach at the plate, the catcher, but it looks like the Buttermakers are going to make a change as the manager. Myron Bennett makes the change. And no doubt that it was a fine outing by the starting pitcher who goes 7 2/3 innings, Luke Droger. And we're coming in with one of the drafted players coming into the game. Wearing number 27. We'll get the official. If we take a look at the drafted players, and this would be the draftee from likely from the Pipestone A's, I'm guessing, or it could be the Adrian A's. If it's the Adrian A's, that would be Tucker Sorensen. So Tucker Sorensen is going to be the pitcher. Tucker Sorensen comes in. So Droger goes 7 2/3 innings. He gives up 7 hits, and we don't know how many runs he's on the hook for because both base runners at first and second are his. He struck out 6, didn't walk anybody, but he's gotten himself into trouble in part because of 4 errors by his defenders. So 3-2 here, and a lefty, Sorensen. So we've got Alex Zach, catcher. He's getting the chance with now the go-ahead run on first base, the tying run on second base. Zach struck out his last at-bat. He is 0 for 3. He has the chance with 2 outs here. He's facing the lefty. Sorensen, a drafted player. Each team getting to draft 3 pitchers. This is Tucker Sorensen from the Adrian A's. First pitch is ball 1. Adrian down by I-90, close to the South Dakota border, not too far from where Hadley is at. 1-0 pitch is going to miss outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Catcher Carlson tells his pitcher, his new pitcher, who they just drafted to play in this state tournament, it's okay, relax. We got the ability to work this guy and get the out. Zach 0 for 3. He throws right, bats left. Runners at first and second. Pitch is outside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Otremba at first base. You have the pinch running Kuchar at second base. I'm not sure if they warmed up a second pitcher. We are hearing of an exciting finish as well over in Springfield as Foley and Hansker are tied up 7-7 in the 9th inning. So a fun night of Class C baseball. Zach at the plate, a 3-0 delivery on the way from Sorensen, and it catches the corner for strike 1. Sorensen wearing the Adrian A's uniform. He was drafted by Hadley. Runners at first and second. 3-1 pitch is low, and the bases are now juiced. So Sorensen comes in and walks the first batter he faces. So they've scored a run on an error by the shortstop Van Dam. They scored a run, and that run number 2 on the base hit to center field by Otremba. Nagel at the plate. Pitch is inside. Sam Nagel singled in the 5th. He was picked off when he was at second base. 1 ball, no strike. Bases loaded, no places to put Nagel. Pitch is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is where the rubber meets the road, when the bases are loaded and it's a 1-run lead for the team that's out there in the field. 1-1 the count. Nagel looks at low, ball 2. Fastball misses low. Kuchar's at third base. We've got Otremba at second. We got Zach at first. Nagel swings and misses at a fastball that ducked and dived away from the hitter, and the count goes to 2-2. Oh, we have some excitement here in the bottom or top of the 8th inning, as Randall has made its way back into this one. Shut out through the first 7 innings. They score 2 here in the 8th. Nagel wants timeout, and he's granted. On deck, Brett Strock, the manager's son. But right now it's Nagel with bases loaded. 2-2, 2 outs. He fights off a nasty pitch inside. Would have been ball 3. It was off the plate, but it was spinning in on him, and I think all Nagel wants to do at that point is try to keep this at-bat alive. And he does just that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The bases are full. Sorensen looks at second, delivers, and another foul ball as he throws a nice fastball that was down and over the plate, and Nagel fights it off. Nagel grounded towards first, and he's also grounded to short along with that base hit earlier in the game. Can he keep this inning alive for the Cubs? They have gotten 2 runs in. Bases loaded. Swing and a miss. And Sorensen exalts a loud scream. He had gotten himself into a bases loaded jam by walking the bases full, and he gets the strikeout of Nagel to end the 8th inning. 2 runs come in that inning on a couple base hits. An error, a costly error, allowed 1 run to score, but Randall gets 2, and they're right back in it. We'll see what happens as we go to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C Amateur Baseball Tournament. Let's get back here to the bottom of the 8th inning. We've got, in that inning, it was 2 runs on 3 hits, but both of those runs are going to be unearned as the error came with 2 outs. If the error does not happen, then that base hit that was delivered after the error would not have scored that run, so that's 0 earned runs. So it's 3-2, but it doesn't matter whether they're earned or unearned. It's still 2 on the scoreboard. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Benda is at the plate. Benda has 2 RBI. He's got the big base hit. Of the 3 base hits for Hadley, his single drove in 2 in that wild 3rd inning. In the count 0-1, and he swings and misses. Wenzel continues to go. Travis has pitched since the 4th inning, and he has kept Hadley completely in check. One time they had a couple runners on. We go to the 0-2 pitch by Wenzel, and swing, and he loses the bat, and he loses the at-bat with the strikeout. So Benda swings and misses. That's strikeout number.
Now batting left fielder number 7, Kellen Johnson.
4 strikeouts. Here is Johnson now. Kevin Johnson, the left fielder, and the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. Bottom of the 8th inning. The Hadley Buttermakers scored 3 in the 3rd. Pitches outside, count goes to 2-0. The Randall Cubs come in with 2 runs in the top of the 8th. So all damage being done in one frame for each of these teams. 2 balls, no strikes to Johnson. Johnson 0 for 3. He hits the ball. That might be the hardest hit ball of the night. Playing just deep enough was the center fielder, Petrusek, and he makes the play.
Now batting the catcher number 20.
They had him played very well. Ball hit hard by Johnson, but that's just allowed out. So 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Carlson. First pitch is in for a strike. Peterchek out in center field, hauling that one down. Swing and a miss on Carlson, and now the count goes to no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So Randall getting a chance maybe to get right back and grab their bats into the dugout and grab their bats for the 9th inning. See who comes out to pitch in the 9th. Let's see if it's going to be the closer, which has been their first baseman. Wenzel misses on the 0-2 pitch in the count 1-2 to Carlson. 1-2 pitches in the dirt, and the count evens up 2-2. Carlson walked in the 4th inning, and that was the last batter that the starting pitcher, Strock, faced. Outside of that, he is 0 for 2. The catcher untucked completely, and he's getting ready to look at a 2-2 pitch here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Pitch is on the inside corner and strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Wenzel. He did a phenomenal job, and we'll see if his night continues on or if they come up and do nothing in the 9th. We're going to take one last break. A quick one. We'll come back for the top of the 9th inning. Randall needing a run to extend this game to the bottom of the 9th. They need 2 to take the lead. We'll be back. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. Coverage of the State C baseball tournament in Milroy, Minnesota. Back with you here as we go to the 9th inning. Top of the 9th, a fun one in Milroy. We even had a delay. The power surged and we lost it. But it hasn't stopped us from having some late inning fun. The Randall Cubs scoring 2 times in the 8th inning to make this one very interesting going into the 9th. Luke Droger led the team with 4 wins on the season. He stands to be the winning pitcher as he pitched 7 2/3 innings. Right now, They have left it to start with in the 9th inning to Tucker Sorensen, who pitches for Adrian during the regular season. One of the 3 drafted pitchers for Hadley as they try to move on to the second round. It will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Randall. And it's the manager's sons. Brett Strock, who plays third base, and then Caleb Strock, who is the starting pitcher. Strock has reached base 1 time on an error. He is 0 for 3. First pitch on the way, misses from Sorensen. Low, ball 1. Timeout called. 1 ball, no strike to Brett Strock. Max Zwart leads the team with 3 saves. Zwart still is at first base. 2-0 now. Pitch misses, is in for a strike. That one also right around the knees. And Strock turns in a little disgust. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody out. We are in the top of the 9th inning. 2-1 pitch. Flared away, foul. Lefty versus righty in this matchup right here of the first batter of the 9th inning. 2-2. Tucker Sorensen from Adrian. Facing Brett Strock. 2-2 pitch, flared foul again. Hits the net before it gets to the party deck down the right field side here in Milroy. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sorensen with the blue glove delivers, and this ball is flared to right field and a base hit by Strock. So in an inning, the last inning, Strock was the only batter not to make his way to the plate. He gets his chance here in the 9th, and he starts with his first base hit of the game. That's going to bring up his younger brother, Caleb Strock. Carlson's going to bring the infield together. Nobody out, runner at first. A fun finish here in Milroy. Randall looked like they might be checking in quickly here, but instead they score 2 runs in the 8th inning, and they have a chance now with the leadoff runner on board in the 9th inning. A base hit by Brett Strock as he flares one to right field, and his brother comes to the plate. Caleb had a base hit his first at-bat in the game. He has struck out the last 2 times. Caleb's going to square to bunt. Fastball high. He pulls the bat back, and it's ball 1. Now the bunt misses low, so it's 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. We are here in Milroy. Andy Price and Greg Wilford. And a throw over to first. We're going to get some fun action here in the first game of 8 this weekend here in Milroy. Caleb Strock wearing the stirrups. Pulls the bat back. This time it's a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Again, will they try to advance the runner? Play for the tying run. 2-1. Strock again squares the bunt. He lays it down. It's going to be picked up by the third baseman, Bruning, and he's going to make the throw. Somebody had to get over to third to cover. Bruning sprints back. So the sacrifice works. 5-3 on the sack. Strock advances Strock, and that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Thomas Kunkel. Kunkel was a base hit away from likely tying it. Not sure, we haven't seen these teams play, so not sure the speed that Strock has at second. 1 out, runner at second, and the first pitch is over for a strike on the outside corner. Fastball from Sorensen. Looking at the starting pitcher, Luke Droger, he is pacing back and forth by the dugout of Hadley, and he watches Kunkel swing and miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second. That's pretty much how we set this thing up. They need that runner at second to score to tie this game at 3. Pitch is fouled and fought off by Kunkel. Another hard pitch inside. We saw that last inning from Sorensen as well in that big at-bat with the bases loaded. Just barreling the fastball in right in the inside part of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kunkel looks at the pitch, and again, a little bit behind it, but he stays alive and fouls it away. Oh, 0-2 the count. Sorensen looking in a long manner towards Carlson, the catcher. Swing and a miss, and there's 2 outs now in the 9th inning. They're down to their final out. They do have a runner in scoring position. And Peterchek is up. Here's a guy who has state tournament experience, playing for another team. Peterchek had the chance to score the first run of the game. He was thrown out on a very close play at the plate. Now he has a chance to send his team to maybe extra innings, breathe new life into him. Peterchek swings and misses. Schrock he wandered quite a ways away from the bag at second base. Probably could have strolled into third. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Kyle. Can he get this runner across? 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right, and that is going to be over his head. A base hit that's going to score the tying run. Peterchek delivers an RBI double. Schrock scores, and we are tied at 3. Peterchek hits that one hard over the head of Joe Larson. Larson that was a tough play no matter what you look at, whatever way you look at it, and Peterchek delivers a huge RBI double. A leadoff base hit leads to an RBI single by Kyle Peterchek, and this game is all tied up 3-3. 2 down. They were down to their final out. So Sorensen still on the mound. He's given up the lead. So Droger will not pick up his 5th win of the season. Now the pitcher, Wenzel, at the plate. And Sorensen delivers a strike on the first pitch. So the season remains alive for now for the Randall Cubs as they score in the 9th inning. 2 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th to force this one into a tie game. Wenzel wants time. It was a late call for time. Sorensen delivers, but that is a no pitch. Wenzel swings and misses, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. The Randall Cubs fighting back when it looked like they were on the edge of extinction. No balls, 2 strikes. Fouled straight back into the net, right at us. Wenzel has done his part on the mound. He came in the 4th inning when things looked desperate, as struggling to get outs. He has kept Hadley off of the scoreboard since that time he has taken the mound. Another foul ball straight back to the net, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Sorensen, the pitcher from the Adrian A's, getting his chance here. He needs to get them into the dugout with a tie game. There's a runner again in scoring position. It's Peterchek. Pops straight up. This one is also going to leave the park, probably landing right on the roof. Up just over the top of the roof here in the grandstand at Milroy. Runner at second. This game is all tied up. 3-3 in the top of the ninth. Now Hadley will get its cuts in the bottom of the ninth. They have not scored since the third inning. Drive to center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Picked up by the center fielder, Benda, but Peterchek is able to round third and score with the go-ahead run. The Randall Cubs have scored 4 runs in their final 2 at-bats to take the lead. 4-3 as the celebration in the dugout. Randall has come back to take the lead. A big RBI base hit by Wenzel. Travis Wenzel, who came into the game pitching in the 4th inning, has been phenomenal. Will get the win if they can hold on, and in part because of his winning effort with a base hit to center field. So Wenzel with the RBI single. Scoring Peterchek. A big RBI there. A big RBI by Peterchek. And with a runner at first base, it is now 4-3 in the top of the 9th inning. What a rally by the Randall Cubs. Coming in now will be the pitcher who had led the team with 3 saves, and that was moving over from first base, Zwart. Max Zwart will come into the game. What an amazing last 2 innings. Aided by an error in the 8th inning, they come into this inning with a leadoff single, a sacrifice, a strikeout to get the second out of the inning, and then a big double over the head of the right fielder by Kyle Peterchek. And that is the one that tied the game at 3. Peterchek will then come around to score on the base hit single from Travis Wenzel. And that is 4-3. We have a new third baseman as well, as they made a few changes. Max Zwart pitching. Garrett Johnson will be. So Bruning is still in the game. He'll move over to first base. Johnson goes to third base. Rich Drew at the plate. We'll get the batting order for Hadley as they come up in the bottom of the 9th inning. But now it's Rich Drew's turn. Wenzel's at first base. Drew's batting. And a ground ball towards the second baseman. It is picked up. And Winicky makes the play, and that ends the inning. But now Hadley is facing extinction as they watch Randall score 2 times in the 9th inning to take a 4-3 lead. Unbelievable finish. Will we have more? Will we have more drama in the bottom of the 9th? We'll have that question. We'll answer that question when we come back. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C Amateur Baseball Tournament. It's the 9 1-2 hitters right now for the Hadley Buttermakers. Not too different. Not too different at all from what Randall faced in their half of the 9th inning, with the bottom half of their, or the bottom part of their order coming to the plate. It was 8-9 to start it, and they got it going. So now we'll see what the Hadley Buttermakers do. Jacob Van Dam is your first batter here in the 9th. It is still Wenzel pitching. And Wenzel right now has put himself as the one of the top players in this game with his effort in relief since the 4th inning, and then a go-ahead base hit in the 9th. He misses with the first pitch, a ball. Second pitch is also low, ball 2. There's been some activity in the Randall bullpen. So this team that hasn't been to the state tournament since 1994 is now 3 outs away from getting a win. 2-0 pitch is inside, and it's 3-0 to Van Dam. Van Dam walked and struck out. And the fastball is in, 3-1 the count. Van Dam has walked. He also reached on a fielder's choice. And he walked. So his second walk of the game. Van Dam is at first base. We go to the top of the order, and it's Joe Larson. Will we see a pitching change here? It's manager Chuck Strock is bringing the entire infield to talk about what they're going to do with the runner at first and what he's going to do with the guy on the mound. Wenzel has been very good. They have not scored, has Hadley, since Wenzel came into the game. He came in inheriting a runner at first with nobody out in the 4th inning, and it's been straight zeros ever since. So give Wenzel a lot of credit, and I think manager Strock does just that by saying, go ahead. He's got a guy who has warmed up. Will they need him? Larson coming to the plate. Larson reached on a walk in the 1st inning. He is 0 for 3 since, so he's 0 for 3 for the game. Larson was in right field. He watched that ball from Peterchuk get over his head. It was well hit, not an error by any stretch, but that ball flying over his head in the top of the 9th inning led to the tying run. Runner at first is Van Dam. Larson delivers, and it's outside on the outside corner. Strike one. Runner at first being held by Caleb Strock. Not a big lead, and the 0-1 pitch is fouled off, and the count quickly to 0-2. 3 outs away now as Randall. We said the same thing, 1 out away for Hadley in the 9th. Hadley could not get out of it. They watched 2 runs score with 2 outs. Randall, the Cubs. 0-2 pitch on the way is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. After Larson, you've got Bruning up. Bruning with the base hit his last time up. He's their leading hitter. So Bruning hoping to get a chance with a runner on. Curveball misses up and in. It was off the plate, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. It has turned into a very beautiful and very exciting evening here in Milroy. Power outage in the 5th inning. That hasn't kept the excitement meter from getting to a high level. Straight up the middle, off the glove of Wenzel. Wenzel can't find it, and now there's runners at first and second. That's a tough break for a pitcher. The hard grounder, a hopper right in front of him, hits off his glove as he jumps. He can't see where it ricochets to, and that is going to be a base hit. Infield single, and it moves Van Dam over to second base. So interestingly enough, pinch runner heading over to first base is number 15. Mitch Magnus. So Mitch Magnus is pinch running. Bruning, who moved from third base over to first base, base hit his last time up. He now has runners at first and second. The go-ahead run at first base. Bruning against Wenzel, and that ball's hit deep to left center field. Camping out underneath it now is the left fielder, and the catch is going to be made, and the runner does not tag from second to third. So the ball was hit deep to left field, and chasing that ball down and making the play is Otremba, and Otremba chases it down. Van Dam at second had strayed too far off the bag, and by the time that he realized it was going to be caught, it was too late to tag and come to third. So with 1 out now, runners at first and second. So Bruning hits it a long way to left center field. It's 375 to deep center, 361 about to where he hit it. Winicky at the plate, and the first pitch is inside, ball 1. Eric Winicky at the plate. Winicky flew out to right field his last time, and a foul ball makes the count 1-1. He has also struck out, and he reached on a walk and scored. Ball hit well by Bruning, but it doesn't advance the runners. So we've got Magnus at at first base, Van Dam still at second base. Winicky, 0 for 2, looks at the pitch. 1-1 is low, and the count is now 2-1. First and second, one down, the pitch. Wenzel misses up high, and the count goes to 3-1. As I was mentioning, just as Bruning was coming to the plate, it was walks, and especially leadoff walks, that got Randall in trouble early in the game. Will the leadoff walk get him in trouble here in the ninth inning? 3-1 pitch, fouled away, and the count runs full, and Winicky in disgust. That pitch was at the letters, and he took a pretty good hack at it, and he fouls it straight back. Eric Winicky from Slayton. He's been playing second base. He's got 2 runners on, the winning run at first base. The 3-2 pitch is in for strike 3. Wenzel hits the strike zone and gets his 5th strikeout, and that one a big one, strikeout looking. That's going to bring in Alex Peterson, the right-handed hitting DH. Peterson has scored a run on a walk. He was also hit by a pitch. He struck out and he singled, an infield single. So he is 1 for 2, but he has a run scored. 1 out away from a Randall victory, and the first pitch is down low. But guess what? We said the same thing last half inning. It was 1 out away from a Hadley Buttermaker victory. Can the Buttermakers make some butter? Can they move on, or is this a Randall Cubs win? Pitch up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Breaking ball stays up above the letters, and Peterson is up 2-0 in the count. Low, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Again, we have Van Dam at second base. He led off this inning with a walk. At first base is Mitch Magnus. And the pitch is low for ball 4, so we have the bases loaded. The string is almost officially out on this one. Another walk. Two down and the base is loaded. The winning run now at second base. Max Wart, who came in to finish out that inning, the top of the ninth inning, now has a chance. A chance to win this game. Bases are loaded, or at the minimum, tie it. Pitch in for a strike from Wenzel. They're giving the ball to Wenzel, and they're saying, finish this game. You've earned it. You've pitched well since the 4th inning. You've kept them off the scoreboard. Now the bases are loaded. 2 walks and a base hit in the inning. The 0-1 pitch. He hesitates for a second and delivers a fastball for a strike on the corner. That was on the outside corner. And Wenzel is to his final strike. How much fun is this? Bases loaded. Oh-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called 3rd strike. He had 2 called 3rd strikes in the inning. And Hadley goes down. The Randall Cubs rally for 4 runs in their final 2 at-bats, and this is a final. Randall, in an exciting manner, comes back to win this first game in Milroy. 4-3 is your final. And the Hadley Buttermakers are done in 1 game. Randall, their first trip since 1994, they advance on with a 4-3 win over the Hadley Buttermakers. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and try to quickly wrap this up and get ready for tomorrow's action as well. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C Amateur Baseball Tournament. All right, we're back with you here. Final score, 4-3, Randall over the Hadley Buttermakers in an unbelievable fashion. 2 runs in the 8th, 2 runs in the 9th. We're going to take a quick look at the totals. 4 runs for Randall, 2 runs in the 8th, 2 runs in the 9th. They had 10 base hits. The only extra base hit coming on the double by Peterchek, that was the game tire in the 9th inning. With 2 outs in the 9th inning, he doubles over the right fielder's head to make it 3-3. That's the only extra base hit. They have 10 hits on the game. They commit 1 error. Part of the story of this game, with the 3 runs and 4 hits for the Hadley Buttermakers, is the 4 in the last column, 4 errors, including a big error in that 8th inning. That was the inning that Randall scored 2 runs. The first run coming in on an error. The second run would also be unearned because of the error. They commit 4 errors on the game, and ultimately, if you kick it around 4 times, you might come up short and get the loss, and that's what happened. So 3 runs on 4 hits, 4 errors for the Hadley Buttermakers. So Randall moves on, and they will play next Saturday morning here at 11 o'clock, and they will be taking on Bluffton, another team from up in the central northern part of the state. Bluffton will be matching up against the Randall Cubs in game number 2, the round of 32 next week. And you can join us for that one. In fact, I'll be back here for that game call as well, so I'll get to see the Randall Cubs again. So again, the final today, 4 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for Randall, 3 runs on 4 hits, 4 errors for Hadley. Randall moves on to round 2. Hadley's season is done. We will be back tomorrow morning with our first game at 11 a.m., and that will involve Union Hill in that one as the first of 4 games being played. You can watch all the action in this game, all the action of the 4 games at Springfield tomorrow. That all action begins at 11 o'clock, 11, 2, 5, and 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and then 3 more games on Sunday. So 11 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be back here at the ballpark. Class C baseball. You can go to the MBA website, which is mnbaseball.org, for all the brackets in Class C and Class B, and also we'll have Class A quarterfinals going on as well. Did we hear a score on that Springfield game? The last we had heard was 7-7 in the 9th inning in a weather delay. So if you've got the package, you can flip over and watch what's happening with Hanska and Foley in that game. That was going in the 9th inning. They had a weather delay, game tied 7-7. So exciting finishes in Springfield, exciting finish here in Milroy tonight. We're going to sign off from Milroy. Again, it's Randall over the Hadley Buttermakers, 4-3 the final. Randall moving on to play Bluffton next week right here, and it'll be at 11 o'clock in the morning. Thanks for watching PrepSpotlight.tv. For Greg Wolford, I'm Andy Price. Thanks to Wings, and thanks to our friends at Xfinity for their support of amateur baseball on PrepSpotlight.tv. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back here at 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.